This morning's story, The Hidden Teacher, a story of Malik Dinar, is based on a tale by Emir El-Arifin and retold by Sarah Conover and Freda Crane. After many years of study, Malik Dinar decided it was time to see the world and discover what he could learn about the inner hidden teacher he had read so much about. And so, bright and early one morning, he set off. Not long into his first day on the road, he met a wise old dervish named Fatih. In Islam, a dervish is someone who lives a simple, frugal life and tries to learn about God by exploring the world rather than reading and studying. They are often very wise, as you will soon discover. Dinar told Fatih, "I am searching for the inner hidden teacher I've read all about. Can I travel with you for a while? Perhaps you will be able to show me how to find it." Old Fatih was used to such requests and agreed to let Dinar join him. They had been traveling for less than 2 minutes when Dinar asked, "What can you teach me?" Old Fatih replied in the confusing, puzzling way that dervishes often answered questions. "What can I teach you? What can you teach me is more to the point." Dinar was puzzled by this response and so decided to stay quiet. Soon they approached a date palm tree. Fatih stopped in front of the tree, put his ear against the trunk, and said, "This tree tells me, oh, I hurt so. There is something in my side which stings. Please, could you remove it?" Dinar laughed and dismissed the Fatih, saying, "Trees don't speak. And besides, we don't have time to take care of the tree. We need to keep going so I can meet my inner hidden teacher." Fatih shrugged and said, "As you wish," and so the pair continued on their journey. But half an hour later, Fatih said, "You know, I'm fairly sure I smelled honey near that tree. Maybe we could go back and fetch some for our dinner." So they returned to the tree, but discovered some men surrounding it. They had discovered the honey and declared that there was so much that they could now become honey merchants, thanks be to God. Dinar was angry at this missed opportunity and continued back down the road with Fatih. The next day, the pair passed by a rocky mound beside the road. Fatih stopped and said, "Ants inside this mound are talking to me and asking for help. They are excavating this mound, but there are obstacles in their way. They are wondering if we could help them move the obstacles." Dinar again dismissed Fatih, saying, "Ants can't talk, and besides, we don't have time to help them. We need to keep going so I can meet my inner hidden teacher." "As you wish," said Fatih, and they continued on. That night, though Dinar realized he had lost his knife, deciding he may have dropped it on the path, he decided to retrace his steps. Fatih came along too, and just as they got to the rocky mound, they found some men atop of the mound counting gold coins that they had dug out of the ground. Dinar, on seeing the men, immediately asked, "Who told you to dig in that spot?" "An old dervish told us to. In fact, he looked a lot like the old man next to you." Fatih replied, "Oh, all dervishes look the same. Who knows where that dervish is?" Dinar cursed himself as they walked back. "Why have I been so unlucky? That's twice. If we had stopped either time, we would be rich." Dinar and Fatih continued onwards and soon arrived at a river. This river was so wide they needed a ferry to cross it, and while they were waiting for the ferry, they saw a fish bobbing out of the water and looking at them. Fatih pointed at the fish. "That fish is seeking our help. He says he needs a certain herb on the bank there because there is something stuck in his stomach that needs to come out." Dinar was not now quite so sure of himself. Perhaps this dervish could talk to creatures, and maybe things were interconnected. But just then the ferry arrived, and Dinar in a hurry rushed to catch the boat instead of contemplating such confusing thoughts. On the other side of the river, the two travelers spent the night at a local inn and said no more about the fish. In the morning, the ferryman woke them and, kissing the dervish's hand, said, "Thank you for the luck that the dervish had brought him." Dinar was confused, and so the ferryman explained, "You see, although I was tired when you waved me over, I decided to come and get you for the blessings that come from helping travelers. When I docked my boat, though, I noticed a fish jumping from the water and flopping towards a certain plant on the shore. I plucked the plant and gave it to the fish, who immediately swallowed the herb and coughed out a huge stone. When I rubbed the stone clean, I saw it was a huge, flawless diamond." When Dinar heard this, he was angry with Fatih. "What kind of companion are you? You knew all about these treasures and allowed me to walk past each one. I had no idea I was missing so much, and now misery will be my constant companion. I was better off before." As soon as he spoke these words, however, he realized that the opposite was true, and what he had said was a lie. The dervish, whose name means the beginning, said, "Now, brother, perhaps you will not be in such a hurry, and you will finally be able to learn from experience, because that is the true meaning of the inner hidden teacher." A few minutes later, Dinar watched as the old dervish continued down the road, joined by a new group of travelers, each arguing with the other and asking the dervish about the journey before them.